Hello! Welcome back to another FPL live stream. Got myself here today. How are we doing, Al? How are we doing?
I'm doing good. I'm
That
doing
is
good. How are you, Jammer?
very, very good to hear. I'm doing okay. Waking up. The little live stream. We bring
Waking
that
up, yeah, it's a
energy.
bit of an early one today, isn't
It
it?
is a little bit of an early one. I probably could have done with making myself a cuppa, but I just woke up and was like, oh, fuck, I've got to deal with this shit before. Excuse the profanity. Um, But how are we getting on? How are we feeling? It's the international break. A lot of news has been
Mm,
coming out. Um, Talk
there's
me
been a
through
lot
it.
of news.
Yeah,
I mean, international break's always a bit dead, isn't it?
yeah. Always a
No
bit
Premier
dead.
League, no Champions League. But no, there's been quite a lot of, like you said, a lot of news out, whether it's COVID related, whether it's
COVID.
transfer related.
hmm
Um, there's been quite a lot of stuff, yeah.
So I guess we'll break straight into it. I guess the main topic of discussion today will be no Mo Salah,
Mm,
no Mo, and there's talks of no Son as well.
hmm
We'll definitely delve more into that. If you take a quick little look into game week 8, firstly, just sort of set the tone of kind of where we're at in terms of
hmm
FPL, and then we'll move on to sort of general football. So I'm just brought up my team here. This is my team. Scored a total of 51 points. Little bit of a stinker compared to the average being 55 and a -4 in Batshuayi, who didn't end up playing, blah, blah, blah. Captain Son, who I think the main thing was no Harold Kane. I think that's what
Yeah,
really sort of did me over,
yeah.
was no Harold Kane. But yeah, how did you find the week? I'll try and I'm just going to quickly try and pull your team up quickly. Because you had
Yeah,
a,
not
you had
bad.
a, you had a pretty decent week, didn't you?
Yeah, 70, not too bad. Captain Kane was obviously the big one.
Captain
And then
Kane.
returns from most players, to be fair. There's more
So
pay Robertson and Son that banked.
we got the big boy. We got
Um,
Sam Smith on the chat and David Minimas saying hi guys, let's
oh,
go.
hello.
Getting a little bit of conversation started in the chat. So love to see that. Everything popping off as normal. But yeah. So what the highlight of game week 8 for you?
The highlight. Um, I think probably it has to be probably Kane's goal right at the last, because everyone was like before that game predicting Spurs 4-5-0 against West
Oh
Brom,
yeah. Was
and
it
then
wasn't it
it
was a
was
last
still
minute winner,
nil.
wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Uh,
Just
tough one
seeing
to
that pop up on
spectate.
my notifications was a bit of a relief.
Relief more than sort of excitement. Then yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't wake up until half time, so as per is the 12 o'clock kickoffs at the minute. David
Oh dear,
Minimas
Java.
coming in with a comment saying, "I like football, don't we all? Up the Crystal Palace, yes, mate." Yeah, game was an interesting one. West Ham pulled it out for you a little bit. Creswell clean sheet.
Mm,
Player that's on my cards at the minute, or I'm looking at getting the boy Kufal, the man
yeah,
Kufal.
2,000 looked good. For a little bit cheaper. The other thing that swings it for me is Cresswell's on the set pieces.
Cresswell is
So
on
sort
set
of
pieces. 0.5
over
goal
the sort of
difference
course
if
of
you
the,
need the money, you know.
if you need the money, then fair. But if you out of the two,
Yeah.
if I had
Mm,
money, I'd probably still stick with Cresswell for the
yeah.
sort of set piece opportunity kind of thing.
Definitely. So, how do you want to take? Because we've obviously got a lot to discuss in terms of the international break, maybe delve into
Mm,
England, Scotland, just going through as well, and we've also
mm.
got a little bit that you've sort of set up for us. So, what do you want to kind of dive into first?
I don't mind. Up to you.
That is straight back at me. Um, let's you know what? Let's go into club by club because we can then always just
Yeah.
integrate other
Okay.
things in. So let me just. I've done a little some graphicos. Um, very basic, very basic, but boom, there's the edit coming through. So we're starting off with Arsenal. Introduce everyone to what we're doing now.
So basically, what we decided to do was choose, because we saw a lot of people wildcarding
Yeah.
at the moment, or free hitting. So we thought it'd be a good idea to go through each team in the Premier League and try and come up with two players that we think would be good picks from each of them.
I'm just going
Some
to.
teams
Sorry,
there are
now
more than two.
sorry. I'm just gonna announce this. We have the student doctor in chat as well. So good to see you, fella. So sorry. Sorry. Carry on. Carry on.
That's all right. So some teams it was quite easy to get two, like you could have had more than two, and then some teams
For
it was a
sure.
struggle to get one really.
So kick us off, Arsenal. What are we saying? Two players from Arsenal.
So obvious ones are Aubameyang, and then I went
I think
for Hector Bellerin.
Aubameyang is kind of the he's the obvious one, maybe not the best one at the minute. I'd
Yeah.
potentially go for like
Mm,
Bellerin and Gabriel just because Aubameyang really isn't
Gabriel.
producing. Gabriel kind of and Bellerin a little bit interchangeable. Gabriel
Yeah.
more likely to play week in week out, even though Bellerin has. But I guess there's always for me a little bit of kind of will he play? Kind of the same with the likes of Kyle Walker and Cancelo for City.
Yeah.
It's like you've seen them be rotated before, and you never really know what's going to happen.
Mm. But I mean, he's started most of the last few games.
Yeah,
In fact, he's had full 90s in every game so far.
yeah.
Grabbed 3 assists, 2 clean sheets.
I guess
Um,
go on. So
so
how have
it's
you been
looking
feeling?
he's looking reasonable.
Yeah, he's
Uh,
looking okay. I mean, how have you been feeling
yeah,
generally, sort of about Arsenal? Mate,
they're not a team I'm
not
looking
a
at
team
at
you're
the
looking
moment. To
at.
be honest, the
Defensively,
fixtures
maybe a little bit
aren't.
more solid. I mean, I was thinking that before they got battered, I guess, 3-0 by Villa.
Mm,
Villa doing
mm.
very good at the minute. Thomas Partey apparently injured as well. Don't know how long he's going to
Oh,
be out
really?
for, but he was going to be their big man in defence. Comes in,
Yeah.
concedes 3 against Aston Villa. What a signing!
I just feel like as well around those sort of Arsenal player price points, there's a lot better options at the moment.
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
Aubameyang, I don't know for sure how expensive he is at the moment, but he's probably still around the 12 kind of mark.
Yeah, I expect
Yeah,
he's
he's
maybe
11.7. So
gone down a few point
you know,
ones,
for
but
point two less, you can bring in Kevin De Bruyne,
De
Sterling.
Bruyne, Sterling, yeah,
Uh,
2 mil less. Well, mil less you get Bruno Fernandes,
that's true.
and then 2 mil less you get
That's true.
big boy Son. So
Yep.
let's transition over to Aston Villa. All of a sudden,
Mm,
compared to last year, looking like they've got plenty of assets. Talk me through Villa.
they do. It was quite hard to choose two from Villa, to be honest. There was quite a few players
There is a
to
lot
go
of players
for.
actually. Yeah.
Mm.
What are the two you've picked?
So I went for an obvious one, obviously in Jack Grealish. Everything goes through him. He's the talisman.
Hmm.
He seems like he's capable of almost getting a double-digit score every single week with some of the stuff that
Yeah.
he does, especially the game week just gone, where he assisted a John McGinn goal that was
Yeah.
ruled offside.
I mean, he's had
He had a
plenty.
goal cleared off the line, and he could have had another 2, 3 assists as well.
I mean,
The
quite
Grealish had to
easily.
go in there.
I've
Yeah.
seen him play quite a few times where he has goal clearances
Mm.
off the line, all of this kind of thing. So I think for me,
He's guaranteed to start every
if I was
game
going
as
to
well.
pick
So
two Villa assets, Grealish has to be
mm,
one of them. I feel like that's kind of obvious.
yeah.
Your second Villa asset.
Second one was I went for Matt Target in the end
Mm-hmm. Matt Target.
because Villa
Is he
Villa are
he's the 4.5
doing
one, isn't
reasonably well in the clean
he? Mm-hmm.
sheets. And Target's popping up with the odd assist hit now and again as well. And he's only 4.5 mil. So far this season, he's got 1 assist and 4 clean sheets.
Mm-hmm.
But Villa's next kind of 6 games
Yeah.
are very nice. So I can see a few more clean
Yeah.
sheets
A lot
there.
of clean
Hopefully, a
sheets.
couple more assists.
Fair enough.
So Matt Target for 4.5 looks quite good at the moment.
Yeah, I mean the fact that
Who
you've
was your second
gone,
one?
I was gonna say the fact that you've gone for a defender kind of leads
Mm,
me towards picking the man of the hour, Ollie Watkins, who I very much do want in my
yeah.
team for 6
Mhm.
mil. Probably, I'm gonna go and say the best. 6 mil. I mean, Bamford's there as well, and although I've been calling him, big old fraudulence, he does look like Bamford does look like he can finish, and Leeds are obviously going to pick up plenty of they're going to create plenty of goal scoring opportunities. But I think Watkins, with the players he's got behind him, is very likely to do so. We've got a comment in from Sam Smith. He says, "What do you think about doing a review my team series?" What do you think, Bell?
Yeah,
I think it's a good idea. If we get the support, if people submit their teams in, we now can have a close and intense look at the team. We can analyse them. We can rip them apart from two managers who are currently sitting below $1 million in rank. We'll give you our professional analysis.
I mean, Salzburg's both of us, so he might be.
He is, but we can
review your own team, Sal. You probably do better.
Doesn't mean we can't rip his team apart. So we move into Brighton and Hove Albion. A little bit tougher of a team.
They are, yeah. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, it would have been quite easy to recommend a couple of Brighton players. But there's been some bizarre things at Brighton. The fact that, was it game week before last, like, Ryan was dropped out of the blue, Mopé was dropped.
Yeah.
Apparently, he had an argument or something with the manager. Yeah. But I think the first guy out of the two was quite easy to pick in Tariq Lamptey.
Lamptey, very solid. Looks very good.
Looking very good. He's getting so far forward.
More
how he didn't actually get a goal. Yeah. And how he didn't get a goal last game was quite unlucky for any Lamptey owners.
The way that Brighton are setting up, you're expecting them to keep clean sheets with the three at the back, three big guys at the back. I guess they haven't had Dunk for a few games. That could definitely have hurt. But you were expecting them to keep more clean sheets. But Tariq Lamptey's coming in with attacking returns. Now, I guess for the second option, you're sifting through the shit a little bit.
You are a bit. I just went with Maupay off his.
I think Maupay
more off his form for the earlier weeks of the season.
Yeah, because he's on wins. I think after the little scrap, there's a bit of a handle on things now, and I think he will.
Yeah, it seems to have settled down a bit.
And it showed when he didn't play. So how much he needed a sort of out and out centre forward.
Yeah. I think one to watch could be Danny Welbeck as well. Just watching the way Brighton played last game, Maupay was sitting quite deep and Welbeck was the one sort of going forwards.
Oh, for sure.
So he could be a potential one, but Maupay's probably the one for now, especially with the pens and stuff.
Very true. Let me transition into Burnley. Burnley. Bit of a stinky start to this season.
A little bit.
Not compared to what we used to seeing from them. I've also heard them start saying that you know people sort of chat about and now boom da 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 da. There we go. Sorry, audio problems apparently. Sal said that apparently I've not been heard too well. So Burnley. What are we saying about Burnley?
So first player was Charlie Taylor.
I think I went for Charlie Taylor as well.
How did you? For both clean sheets and sort of assist potential. I mean, Burnley haven't really been keeping the clean sheets like they did last season, but their underlying stats are still quite good in terms of like big chances conceded. They're still managing to keep
kind of one goal a game. They did get reasonably dismantled against Chelsea, reasonably so. But they do look better defensively going forward.
Better.
The other option, I guess, would be from an attacking perspective. Chris Wood's the only one who really
I went Chris
would
Wood
appeal to me for Burnley, but not really one I'd be looking at anyway. No. You're just kind of scraping the barrel here just to kind of pick someone. I think Charlie Taylor in general I would definitely consider getting in.
Yeah, he's still 4.5.
4.5.
Yeah,
Burnley with good
Wood was
defence.
another one. But Wood was a person I chose more based off last season's form, really.
Yeah, I mean,
Like
he's not
especially
doing
the post
much.
lockdown, he was so consistent. He was scoring in almost every game he was playing in.
Yeah, I mean, I
Um,
guess that's the thing with Burnley as well. If they if they're gonna score in a game, they're probably only gonna get one, maybe two.
yeah,
But yeah, moving into
the fixtures aren't
go on.
amazing
Yeah, they're
either.
not. But yeah, moving into Chelsea. All of a
Yep.
sudden, after a bit of a slow start, looks like there's
Mm.
plenty of options now. The new, go on,
I assume you got the same. Was Chilwell?
Chilwell, big man himself.
He seems to be the best defensive asset in the game at the moment.
Him and Kyle,
For
I'd say. Him and Kyle. I genuinely
the
think
problem with
Kyle.
Kyle Walker is there's still a risk with Pep in his rotation. I mean, he's been
I don't think there is
fairly
this
set
season.
for now.
I don't think there is this. Not
Um,
with Kyle. I could see them replacing a left back like Cancelo. I don't see them. I don't see him taking Kyle out. He's
I just don't
played.
know. Like the amount of times I've been stung with Pep roulette is
Oh yeah, I
always a
completely
bit
agree.
wary. Oh, Kyle
Kyle's
Walker's
down.
another good one.
Um,
I think they're both around the similar sort of price now as well. I think
they're both
Chilwell's six,
Kyle
Walker's
6.1.
6.1.
Yeah.
Mm.
So second Chelsea
No, but no,
asset.
Chilwell's looking really good. He's getting so far up
Oh yeah.
the pitch.
I mean, he looks like he can
Um,
score or assist in every single game he plays, no matter who he
yeah,
plays
exactly.
against as well.
Yeah.
Second asset.
The second asset went with Ziyech.
Yeah, Ziyech's the one. He's playing so
Still
well at the moment,
pretty.
isn't
Yeah, he's still relatively cheap as well,
he?
8.1 mil.
I think he's going up to 8.2 or should be pretty soon.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
Um, but he's only really played 2 games. He's only started 2 games, and he's already got 3 assists and a goal.
Yeah,
So the more that Chelsea team starts to click, the more minutes he gets. I can see him racking up attacking returns quite healthily,
sure.
to be fair.
So into Crystal Palace, the best team in the Premier League,
Do you want to?
arguably.
I'll let you do Palace first, Trevor.
Crystal Palace, Wilfried Zaha, bowler. I think he's probably the best Palace asset in the game right now. He's absolutely smashing it with the fixtures. We've got a few good fixtures coming up, so very much looking forward to owning him in those. And I'm going to go with the second one. I'm going to go with Patrick Van Aanholt. Gets very far forward, drew a couple of clean sheets. He got an assist in the last game and could have easily scored 2 or 3.
Yeah. My first one was Zaha as well, and then second one, he's blanked the last 5.
Oh yeah.
But I think he still could be a good player in Andros Townsend. 1 goal and 2 assists so far this season. 5.9 mil, it's not too bad. And Palace's fixtures are really nice, especially West Brom away in week 11. So Townsend would be one to potentially look at as well.
Definitely. So we've a comment in from Dave Middlemass asking for thoughts on the second lockdown. In terms of generally, awful. We are governed by an absolute moron. In terms of football, I mean, it's not really matter, does it? In terms of, well, it'd be nice to be able to go to the games again because of the second lockdown. It's going to be prolonged in terms of when we're going to be able to go back. But well, I guess I don't know why they've done international fixtures. To be honest, this was always going to happen with. I'm sure Liverpool are fuming. I'm sure Spurs are potentially fuming as well. That sort of these fixtures were allowed to go ahead.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Didn't see the point in doing the international games, to be honest with you.
Liverpool, especially, Joe Gomez has got injured with England, and now Salah's gone to Egypt and got coronavirus. So, it seemed pretty pointless, especially when the majority of it is they're basically pointless games. The Euros ones, I mean, you can allow Scotland, Serbia. Those games kind of have to be played, so you can make exceptions for those. But Yeah, I do not understand.
There's no need for friendlies, is there?
No, not at all.
How many players from Egypt is it that they've
I
tested
don't know,
positive?
but apparently I saw as well that one of the Irish players had it when they played against England. So whole England squad could have it. You never know.
Yeah.
And that would absolutely,
I wonder if another Egyptian one is Trezeguet, because he's been doing quite well.
Oh yeah, I mean, from an FPL perspective, from an Aston Villa perspective, it could hurt them, but from FPL, I don't see that.
Not from FPL, but he seems to be assisting the assister quite a bit and getting quite high up. So
yeah, he does very well for them. Forgot that he played. Yeah, we move into Evertonians. What are we saying?
First one, I'm sure you got the same DCL.
Gavaloon, always big man.
Yeah, I think you just got to have him in, haven't you?
Got to have a DCL in.
Why is it? Let's have a look at his ownership actually. His ownership's nearly 60%.
60%,
which is kind of 57.1%, which is kind of crazy.
Son might be higher than that. I think Son's like 70. Absolutely crazy stats.
Yeah. I see what Son is actually. I assume quite a lot have transferred him out this week.
Yeah, DCL.
Son's 58, so he's still higher than DCL. Yeah.
Anyway,
but no, DCL, he's looking really good. If he doesn't score a goal, he's getting an assist. So
he's only actually pretty much every game, hasn't he?
Yeah, he only blanked one game week in the past 8.
There you are. My man with the stats, bringing them out as always.
Which is pretty mad. Yeah, just one blank against Southampton, game week 6.
Southampton, game week 6.
Yeah, I think he's the go-to.
Secondary Everton asset, a little bit more tricky.
Yeah. I went with Digne as my second one.
Digne.
Set piece potential, attacking returns, and the odd clean sheet now and again would be nice. He's been pretty solid FPL asset for a few seasons now, isn't Digne?
Yeah, he's been okay. I've never really been too sure about him with the £6 million price, but I think because of how generally poor most of the expensive attacking fullbacks, I guess, or expensive defenders have been this year, Digne actually comes in. It's like, okay, he's actually playable this year.
Yeah.
The start of last season was okay, but for the majority of last season, I don't think he was that great. Secondary asset, I think for me, I'm going to go with a returning Richarlison when he gets into that side, especially with the couple of fixtures they got coming up. Up, Leeds, I think as well, who like to ship goals or concede goals, as it were. I think the returning Richarlison really gives them that threat up front.
Yeah.
It was a nice.
Yeah, Fulham, Leeds, Burnley, next 3. Very nice fixtures for Everton coming up.
Yeah, for sure. Fulham.
Yeah. Fulham.
I found your comments funny on Fulham. I think it was West Brom as well.
Yeah, so
between 2 players for Fulham now.
I mean, I only have one, to be honest. Just Mitrovic.
You have one, and I'd probably disagree with that one, to be honest. With the form that he's been having, he missed the penalty.
I mean, he's missed 2 penalties now, hasn't he? He missed the penalty for Serbia, missed penalty for Fulham.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to go... If you'd have talked to me a week ago, or maybe 2 weeks ago, I'd have said Lookman. But I want to keep us far away from Lookman now after that absolutely atrocious penalty. That was the audacity.
Ridiculous penalty,
The audacity to do that in the 90th minute, 95th minute, when your side is fighting for relegation.
Yeah.
It's baffling to me,
It's
genuinely.
like your team's fighting relegation, you've got a penalty to get a point, and you go and do that.
It's just, I had genuine flashbacks to Christian Benteke doing the stupidest penalty run up.
Yeah.
Oh my god. We do before we get into Leeds, we have a comment in from Mr. Ishan Patel, and I emphasise the Pat. If free hitting next week, torn between Martial and Richarlison for the final spot. Opiniones. Elliot, you're up first.
I would say, I mean, free hitting, so it's not a long-term pick. So Martial against West Brom would be I mean, I'm a bit biased. I think United are going to slap Ross Brown.
Richarlison against Fulham. I think we're not really gonna probably help that much here because I'm going with Richarlison, you're going with Martial.
Yeah, I just think Martial is.
Martial. Why would you pick Martial over Richarlison? You go with that, and I'll do vice versa.
I think the fixture, first of all, West Brom conceded more than Fulham. United are playing at home. Martial is United's best striker, so he will start.
Yeah.
And United are a different team when Martial plays.
Is there not a Cavani risk that Cavani
No,
starts over Martial?
I don't think so.
Martial's not been doing very much.
Who's that?
I said Martial's not really been doing very much.
Well, he's been suspended for most of the season so far.
Yeah.
So if Martial, I'd go for Martial myself. I can see why people go for Richarlison. Yeah. He's such an asset to that Everton team.
I do like Richarlison. He says he's already got DCL, which kind of assumed already. But I mean, if you already have DCL, you maybe push yourself towards Martial just to give you that kind of spread in attack. You might already have Bruno though. I think Bruno's.
I was going to say that if you don't have Bruno, then definitely get Martial in.
So I guess it's whether you double up on. I'm definitely assuming he's got. If now that Salah's not playing, I feel like Bruno was already in a free hit team for me, but the fact that Salah's now playing, you think like 100% he's in a free hit team this week. But I still think Richarlison, Everton looks such a good team when he's in that side, and he could definitely pop. It's a 50-50 at the end of the day. One of them will probably do really well.
Yeah, whoever you go for is not a bad pick.
I guess I
think Richarlison might be cheaper.
Yeah,
if you need money.
It seems as though it's the final spot, and he's got the money. So especially with Salah out, you can probably do a lot more this week.
That's true.
Either way, whoever you pick, it's a good pick, and it's I guess just a bit of luck who does better. They could both do really well. There we are. Leeds. God.
Leeds, yeah.
The fraud of the league.
So my first one was obvious one, Bamford.
Bamford.
I was the second best 6 mil striker.
Regrettably, have to agree.
His consistency's been really good though.
Who?
Scoring in a lot of games.
Yeah, he does look good. I'm regrettably going to have to agree with you.
Yeah.
And may even have to hop on the Bamford train myself at some point. Second option.
And then second one I went for Dallas as well.
Dallas. He's not been playing that consistently, has he? I know he scored the other week, but has he been playing every game?
Oh, I
know
thought
Ailing's been very consistent.
Let me just check that. Yeah, so Dallas has started every game.
Okay, that's fair enough then.
Dallas versus Ailing kind of chat.
There was.
But at the moment, Ailing's had no attacking returns this season.
Is not a single one? Has he not even picked up an assist yet? I swear he got an assist.
No, whereas Dallas has got a goal and assist.
Has he? So probably Dallas the one to go for. There you are.
Yeah.
In the chat, Dallas over
both
Ailing.
the same price. And Dallas can also play as a midfielder if Leeds get short with COVID or injuries. Then Dallas can move into the midfield position.
And for the secondary one for me, I think I'm going to go for Click. I think having watched him play against Palace, he gets forward very well. He's always going to be the one slipping him in. He's basically in control of the whole game. Set pieces on penalties.
Yeah.
So 5.6 mil, I think.
He is, yeah.
Very good kind of differential option if you got maybe a 4.5 mil and you want to upgrade to someone who's actually going to potentially do something.
Yeah.
Leeds have got good fixtures, so Click's the one.
Leeds like an attack as well, so
yeah. Was there something else you wanted to add?
2 goals and 3 assists.
Before, so I think I cut you off a little bit.
I was just saying Leeds like to attack as well, so having Klitsch in there would be not a bad pick at all. 5.6 mil, 2 goals, 3 assists.
Yeah.
Starts every game. He's had 3 yellows though.
3 yellows.
I can't remember
I was looking at that because I was potentially thinking about bringing him in because it's 5 for a 1 match ban.
I think it's 5. Yeah.
I think come round sort of game week. I don't know, 14 or something. 15 might be. Yeah, 3's okay at the minute. If it gets to 4, that's a little bit of worry time. Leicester City.
Leicester, yeah. So first pick was Vardy. Although quite a reasonable amount of his returns have been through penalties.
Yeah.
They are getting a reasonable amount of penalties, so I can't see that dropping off necessarily.
Yeah.
And he's one of the highest scoring strikers in the game.
Vardy, completely agree with Vardy.
As well.
Secondary option.
Yeah. Especially his wants to play Liverpool. Leicester's fixtures are really nice. They've got Fulham at home, Sheffield away, Brighton at home, Everton at home.
That's tasty. So for the secondary option,
definitely see Vardy getting some goals there.
Are we looking at a defender then for the secondary option?
I went for Schmeichel as my second one.
Schmeichel. I've seen a lot of Schmeichels in teams this year. He's actually been alright, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's an expensive keeper, 5.5.
For sure.
He's not the highest scoring by any means, but he does like saving. He does like save points.
He does have I've seen when they can win a game 2 or 3-0 and he still gets bonus points. So
yeah.
He does love a save point.
Just trying to find it now. Yeah. So apart from his first game against West Brom and the last game against Wolves, he's saved at least 3 shots. So he's got at least 1 save point every game.
So that was a similar thing actually. I was looking at from Marty. I think before he got, who did they play on? They got but it was Southampton. I think it was Southampton where he got 0 points. Before that, Martinez had scored 3 points in every single game, at least. So that was very, very nice. But
yeah,
at the same time, Schmeichel doesn't.
5.5 is a lot for a keeper at the moment.
Yeah, for sure. Considering with some of the options you have.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a bit more of a differential pick for Leicester, especially with those fixtures, game week 10 to 13. He could be a very nice keeper to have.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, if you're getting rid of Salah, if you're getting rid of the Liverpool defenders, then you've probably got more money now anyway. So maybe you could stretch to 5.5 for a keeper.
100%. Talking of Liverpool, we'll transition over to them. What are we saying?
So my original list obviously had Salah at the start as number 1, but for obvious reasons he can't be that now. I would probably say
maybe not for this game week, but I'd still say Salah because he's only going to be out realistically for 1 game week. If I'm being honest. So if we're
the
looking
next game week I can't, but
long term,
he's still the top choice going forward.
Like if this is a free hit team we're building, Salah's a no. But if this is a wild card we're building, I still think keeping Salah.
Yeah, and Salah's in, yeah. If you are free hitting, I'd probably stick Mane in there. Whenever Salah doesn't play, Mane seems to do most of the scoring.
Yeah, for sure.
And then second choice was Jota.
Jota.
He's getting a few goals, and his price is very nice for a Liverpool attacker.
I think Diogo Jota has been absolutely smashing it on form. He is definitely going to play in the next game. We know that because Salah's out. So for 6.4 million, he looks like an unbelievably good midfield option, especially the fact that he's most likely to get a lot more consistent game time over the sort of Christmas period. There's going to be a bit of rotation there, obviously. Salah and Mane are probably going to be the ones who just play in every game in and out, and you can probably see Jota and Firmino rotating in and out, even potentially playing the 4 like they did against City. I think they're going to need to play the 4 in a lot of games because with the defence, with a lot of the defence that they have missing, I think they're going to need the 4 up front to just outscore the opponent, basically. Yeah,
literally, yeah. I mean, they've got the fixtures to do it in as well.
For sure.
The next, after Leicester and when Salah's back, they've got Brighton, then Wolves, then Fulham. Spurs, Palace, West Brom, Newcastle, Southampton. Taking up to the new year, which is very nice. The league's
going to be won in sort of this period up until January.
Yeah.
Because in January, Liverpool sign a centre-back and they become a lot more solid. So if they manage to go on a spree and beat the teams that they probably should be beating, but obviously with defensive liabilities, less likely so, then they'll
Because
be
even just looking at this
top 10.
December fixtures for Liverpool, they play 6 games in a month, and out of those 6, there's Fulham, West Brom, Newcastle, and Palace.
I mean, come
Where
on,
there's definitely going to be
beat
goals.
Palace. I know that's 100%. Not age. Is it
I thought
at
I thought you'd
Anfield
comment
or
about
at Selhurst?
No, it's at Selhurst.
They don't stand a bloody chance. We're talking of the main rivals to Liverpool, Manchester City. Man City. Finally, a team that we have. Well, there's been a few teams, but with City, I feel like there's an abundance of players who you could pick. Really.
Yeah, it's another one that's hard to choose too. I went with 2 attackers though. Although City do have some nice defensive options at the moment as well.
Sure.
So the first one was obviously KDB.
KDB.
The guy's just a machine, isn't he? Really.
Yeah. I cannot
should be on
disagree
pen
with that.
as well.
I think it would be very, very silly of Pep and the team to take KDB off of pens, because that's personally what I think they've done so poorly on pens, because they've not had that consistency in a player, and when a player misses, it's like they know, they've missed it, so they're not going to take the next one, sort of thing. Whereas you need to have that surety that even if you miss a bit, like if you are missed 3 in a row, then okay, maybe you're not the next person, but you got to be backed through thick and thin, I guess, is what you got to say. We do have a question in from David Middlemass, little bit off topic, but he asks, what is the best flavour of ice cream? So,
Dave, I'm loving these questions.
Take us away. What's your favourite ice cream?
He's put flavour singular as well, so we have to choose one.
No, I'll go with mine first. I'm a honeycomb myself. Can't beat it.
Honeycomb.
Can't beat it.
I don't know. That's a really hard question, actually.
Can't beat it.
I do like a Haagen-Dazs salted caramel.
Haagen-Dazs salted.
Ben and Jerry's cookie dough.
Sam was gassing about. He had
Ben and Jerry's chocolate
strawberry
brownie.
cheesecake one the other day.
That's strawberry cheesecake's a belter as well.
4 flavours there, Belle.
Yeah, them Halo top ones are quite nice too. So sorry, Dave, I haven't been able to give you a succinct answer. But you've got 4 options there if you're going shopping for ice cream.
Going shopping. And talking of, I think my man Carl Walker would absolutely love a Haagen-Dazs ice cream, and he's my second option. Honeycomb is very
Carl Walker looks very good.
It's so nice though. Honeycomb is unbelievable. When you get a good honeycomb, fresh, the flavour. Love to see it. All very good submissions. Glad to hear it. Glad that the audience is impressed. Man City, Carl Walker and De Bruyne for me, and for you it was De Bruyne and
second choice was Gabriel Jesus. Because I'm still a bit confused with what's happening with Aguero. His injury seems relatively long term, but I'm not 100% sure. And Jesus has played 2 games this season and scored in both. One against Wolves, one against Liverpool. So I think he's quite a good asset. 9.2 mil. 9.3 mil. If he's on the pitch, he's probably going to score in City's fixtures that are coming up: Tottenham, Burnley, Fulham, United, then West Brom.
I expect. And then maybe you can have a little bit of ice cream as a celebration. Get that tweet out.
Maybe
the ice cream chat's propping off. Sam says strawberry cheesecake is the GOAT. David Minimas asks, Elliot, when's the face reveal?
Face reveal. I don't know.
When's the face reveal? I don't know. Hard to sort out. We probably have to do some kind of Discord Zoom call where the face was on. Hard to sort out, but sometime in the future.
I'll let you know. I'll have to wind my United shirt ready.
The United shirt has got to be pristine. already a pre-bought Cristiano Ronaldo shirt. Talking of, we'll move on to Manchester United. So I'm going to let you. Here you go. Go off on one on whatever Manchester.
Are we doing Ronaldo now?
News, whatever players, whatever you want to discuss, Bell. This is your moment.
Oh, thank you. No, but I appreciate. Yeah, so big news this week that United have apparently made a formal offer for Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, that breaking news just in
Um,
from our correspondent L Taylor on the front line.
Because basically, apparently, Juventus want him off their wage bill.
Mm-hmm.
He costs them around 28 million a year in wages,
That's a lot of money.
which is a lot of money, yeah.
It's a fair amount of money.
So the proposed kind of would-be deal at the moment is that almost like just a swap deal, because Paul Pogba has 18 months left on his contract.
Right.
And he's not really in terms of how United have. Pardon?
How old is Pogba?
Oh, that's a good question. I
Because
think
I do
he's
feel
around.
like they're getting the better end of the deal here. But I guess at the same time, Ronaldo will.
I think he's about 27, maybe 28.
Ronaldo will sell over 100 million in shirts, like comfortably.
Yeah, he's also like he's just unique, isn't he? Like he's 36, but he's probably got the fitness of most sort of general 30-year-old.
He's still he's still smashed it. I disagree with your kind of if we buy Ronaldo we win the league.
I'm sticking with that, to be honest.
Huh?
Yeah, no, I got a bit excited, but I've got to stick by that comment, to be honest.
You're gonna stick.
If United got him on a free, so we only had to pay for his wages.
Yeah.
Say we match his wages that Juventus got him, so you get Ronaldo in for 30 million.
Right.
United get a new centre back and a new CDM.
CDM though, I guess someone who can so McTominay and Fred get shipped out, and you get a CDM who can just do both of their jobs.
Exactly. Yeah, I think McTominay is a squad player. He shouldn't be starting every game. Fred's been doing okay, but Fred's more of a box to box than a CDM. Really. So
you still probably play Fred.
Yeah, because at the moment, if we don't want to concede 6-1 like we did against Spurs, we have to play both Fred and either McTominay or Matic. Because we don't have a CDM that can do both roles. Yeah. So you've basically got a situation at the moment where Paul Pogba's place is being taken by Scott McTominay because we have to play two defensively minded midfielders.
Yeah.
I mean, when we play them both and they both play well, it works. We saw that against Leipzig and Paris.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I think United's priority at the moment should be CDM, centre back, and hopefully get Ronaldo in.
Fair enough.
Because then that becomes quite a strong team.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
The only thing that makes me doubt whether it'll actually happen is we've just signed Cavani on crazy wages for free. And if we brought Ronaldo in, there's almost no need to have Cavani there.
For sure, yeah.
Another reason is the United board are incompetent. We don't really have a director board. We don't have a director of football. So, but then again, the reverse side of that is, like you said, the shirt sales and the revenue that having Ronaldo back at United would generate for the Glazers.
Well, if Ibra got 100 mil, I'd probably double that comfortably. Because
exactly.
He's such an icon. Like I was talking to Owen about it the other day. I was saying about the t-shirt sales, and he was just like, "Yeah, I'd buy one."
Yeah, definitely.
And even neutral fans across the world would sort of ship that. We have quickly before we get onto the two players. Question in from David Minimus: any special guests coming on in the future? I mean,
we're supposed to have Mr. Brown before his internet went down.
We're supposed to have Mr. Brown coming in the future. Maybe we can have a few other people if they want. Maybe Sam Smith, the iconic singer, could join us at some point. I don't know. I don't know if the middle mass is middle mass fancy it. Maybe a Mr. Matharu could entertain at some point. Although I do think he likes viewing more than he likes sort of being on air, as it was. Two Manchester United options. Hit me.
Yes.
For a second here, Bill. Hello?
Back to United for a couple of years before he goes to the MLS or wherever he goes after that.
I think
I can see Ronaldo playing to at least 40, 41, 42, to be honest.
yeah. Sorry about who
Um,
did you say? I think you cut out for a second there.
I was just sort of rounding up the Ronaldo
Oh, okay, yeah.
thing. But in terms of United assets, first one was Bruno. Um, I got rid of him a few weeks ago, and kind of regretted it, to be honest. He's even with the form that United are in, he still manages to somehow get
Bruno
points, and
Fernandes
when he gets
probably
points, he gets a lot of points as well.
really the only
Um,
United asset I'd go for right now, personally.
I don't know. My second choice was Martial.
Martial, maybe you can make an argument for.
I
But
think I think I think
go on.
people aren't really looking at Martial because he hasn't really been playing in the Premier League this season yet
Yeah,
after his
and
suspension.
I guess the suspension until he starts picking up goals again. I don't for 9 mil with the other options we have up front. I'm not really looking at him, to be honest.
He dropped quite a bit. I think he's 8.6, 8.7.
Even so, Bamford 6, Antonio 6.2, Watkins 6.1.
They are, but I think Martial with Bruno behind him is, especially West Brom at home. Like,
Yeah,
what a game
yeah,
to come back
it's a
on.
good fixture for sure. They should
Um,
definitely win that.
and the way Martial was scoring and playing at the end of sort of post lockdown last season, he was almost a must-have player.
Oh yeah,
It was helped a bit by the fact he was classed as midfielder last
he was a
season, but
midfielder and he
even
was
so,
cheaper. Got
what was
Mata
he?
as well.
8.2. So it's only 0.5 difference, really.
He started off. Did he start off at 7.5? I think he might have done.
I think he started at 8 and then
Or
moves
maybe
up and
started at
down.
8. Yeah.
This
Dave,
season started at 9.
before we move on to Newcastle
Um,
quickly, Dave says get
oh,
Gareth
I was
Southgate
just
on.
going to say, I was also just going to say about
Yeah.
Tellez as well, because Luke Shaw's now injured again.
Yeah.
But the only problem with Tellez is most of his assists before he came to United came from crosses into the box onto a header.
Okay.
And the way United play, unless Cavani's on the pitch, we don't really have a striker that does that role. So Tellez maybe one to watch, but Bruno and Martial would be my top 2.
Yeah, Bruno Martial. I think I can agree with that. Dave says get Gareth Southgate on the pod, on the show. That'll be interesting. That would be interesting, but I don't. Maybe not in my ability just yet, unfortunately. But got a few more clubs to get through. Let's roll through a couple of these very quickly.
Let's roll through.
And then there's one or two where we can have a bit more of a conversation. So Newcastle, quickly, bang bang, 2 options.
Newcastle, I went for Callum Wilson. Been doing very well, very consistent, and Darlow as well. He's actually doing quite well for goalkeepers. Newcastle starting to pick up the clean sheets again as well. He's also a bit of a save point merchant as well, Darlow. It's quite surprising when you look at his stats. He's been getting in the save, so Darlow will be a second pick for me for Newcastle.
Darlow's second pick. I still think Jamal Lewis has gone down 4.3 mil, and I think he's a decent option in terms of just your kind of your set and forget almost like formal option. I think at the moment it's really important to have players who are actually kind of playing, if you know what I mean. And he's the cheap, along with Kilman, the cheapest kind of option who is actually playing. So Wilson and Jamal Lewis. For me, Sheffield United, 2 options.
Sheffield, yeah. Just as an added stat, Darlow's made 39 saves so far this season, making it 11 in just the Spurs game.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. He absolutely smashed it.
So even though they conceded, he still managed to get 8 points. Anyway, yes, Sheffield was a hard one.
Sheffield was a very hard one.
Attackingly woeful, defensively nowhere near what they were last season. So I just went for maybe McGoldrick, but just generally avoid, really.
Generally, yeah. What maybe, and just general. I'm gonna go with Sanderberg as an option. Sort of around the 5 mil mark. He's got a couple of assists, maybe for differential, but yeah, it's very hard with Sheffield. Maybe a Sheffield defender with the fixtures they've got coming up, it does turn a little bit, but I definitely want to kind of.
But even then, I think there's better options, isn't there?
Yeah, I want to see a little bit more from them before you start shipping in the Sheffield United defenders, which I doubled up at the start of the season and did not go too well for me. Southampton.
I mean, at the time, it wasn't a bad pick, though, was it?
No. Considering sort of the information we had from last season, you were thinking,
exactly.
They could do a job here, even with the fixtures they had. But yeah, Southampton.
Southampton's my first pick was Che Adams, especially with Ings being out till sort of Christmas time.
Jadams,
Um,
completely agree
he
with.
always had the underlying stats and wasn't really performing, but now he is starting to get the returns.
Yeah.
So last game got 7, game before that got 5. So in his last 4 games, he got 11, 8, 5, and 7 points, which isn't bad at all for
Yeah.
5.9 mil.
hmm
I guess the only problem with Southampton is they've got a couple of tough fixtures coming up. It
They
was
do.
Wolves and then United.
That's the thing. The defence has been okay so far this season, but you don't particularly want the defenders in the game weeks that are coming up. Maybe you look at James
Yeah.
Ward-Prowse, Armstrong as well. Maybe not the best
Armstrong was my
options.
second one, yeah.
Yeah.
Armstrong's quite cheap as well for what he could
5 yeah,
bring you in terms of points.
for sure.
Yeah, so Armstrong's last 3 games, 3 points, 5 points, 10 points. 2 assists and a goal so far this season.
Yeah, absolutely smashed it.
They're not a bad pick, to be honest, Stuart
Yeah.
Armstrong.
Then we move into a big boy team, Spurs.
Spurs. I mean, I went with the obvious 2 for this one, to be honest. I went with Kane first.
Kane next on.
So consistent, and then Son. Outside of them, maybe Reguilon.
I mean, yeah, considering Son maybe has coronavirus, maybe a replacement for Son.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Lucas Moura maybe, or
Moura,
Bale
yeah.
maybe, if he comes in.
Lloris maybe as well.
Picks up a couple.
Solid keeper.
Does. Lloris does a job in that. That's what I'd say.
He does a job. Yeah.
Yeah.
5.5 though, it's quite a lot of money.
If they're both fit, look like the two. It's kind of mainly go for. I think with Spurs, there's not really much else to be said other than mainly Kane next on. We'll transition into a bit of West Bromwich Albion. I found your comments really funny on this one.
Yeah, so West Brom, I just sent you no one and then
No
see
one,
above.
and then see above. I mean, it's really hard at the minute to kind of make an argument for a West Brom player. The only player, their attackers don't look bad in terms of like on the eye, but they just have no end product.
No,
the defence is shoddy.
It Grant, their striker?
Robinson or
Carlan Grant looks okay.
Yeah.
Like Carlan Grant's the same price as Che Adams or 0.1 mil off Ollie Watkins. So I don't really see an argument for getting West Brom in.
There we go, we're back. Elle, can you hear me? Hello? Oh dear, oh dear. Well, this is a right mess.
Was there anyone? Or is it back?
Can you hear me, Elle?
I can't hear you. Is it okay? Everything good?
Bam. There we go. Okay, that's working. Just hold that there for a second. Oh. Hello. Oh.
Hello.
Ah,
Hello.
okay. I don't know what happened then. Everything just kind
That's
of cut. But we're back.
Excellent. So what we're on West Brom. I said no one. Did you get anyone?
I mean, I was going to stretch and go for Pereira because he looks like a bit of a baller, but no
Okay.
attacking returns. So I'm going to agree with your no one see above. I'm going to transition us into West Ham, who we kind of have a little bit more of a discussion about because they are actually looking...
Well, we got a comment in from Dave who says the sound is all over the place.
Yeah, it should be...
Is it better now?
Should be fixed now.
Okay. Comment
might be a little bit
if it isn't though.
Yeah, let us know if it's not. But the sound just, I don't know what happened. It just dropped for a bit, and I couldn't connect back to L. But the sound should be back on, and we're sort of rounding up here anyway. So West Ham, what are we saying?
West Ham, there was a couple of options. So Antonio was my first one once he's back to fitness.
Yeah. Antonio.
Then second choice, I went
agree.
for a bit of a differential in Fabianski. Currently the highest scoring keeper in the game. And then I went for another two as well with Cresswell and Kufal. I think they're really good defensive options.
Cresswell, I was going to say those three are the kind of main you kind of look towards. Maybe Bowen as well. I do like the look of Bowen.
Yeah, maybe Bowen. Yeah,
but Antonio probably
Fornals,
better going forward. Fornals, he was voted up there for Player of the Month actually. And then we have Kufal if you're a little bit cheaper, but I think Anna's been picking up plenty of bonus points, which is very nice. But also Cresswell on basically all the clean sheets and gets very, very far forward as well.
Yeah, and the free kicks too as well.
Yeah. Anything more you want to mention on West Ham? Or we can get straight into Wolves.
Not really. I mean, Fabianski's always been a solid keeper. But
yeah, I know you had a bit of a love affair with Fabianski a few years ago.
I did. I think it was that West Ham game last season where I got 15 points from
Did he?
Fabianski and someone else. I can't remember who it was now. Yeah, that was good. And then moving on to Wolves.
Yeah, moving to Wolves.
Wolves I found quite tricky to recommend, apart from obviously Jimenez, who's
main man,
the old reliable FPL striker.
Yeah.
And the problem with Jimenez is he rarely ever gets above 9 points.
No, he one goal a game is sort of what you're hoping for when you get Jimenez.
Yeah. And for 8.5, I don't know whether that's good enough, to be honest.
No, I mean there are considering what other attackers have been doing. I don't think so.
Exactly. But that could always change if Wolves start getting a bit more attacking. And then, I said tricky outside of him, but Kilman at 4.3 is quite a nice.
I was going to say, I think we've got the same two for Wolves there. 4.3 in terms of, Kilman looks like a very, very solid option. Just to kind of fill in, like I said with Jamal Lewis, this period that we've got coming up, you're going to want players, even your bench players, you're going to want all of them to be starting players. Because there's going to be so much rotation, injuries, people out with COVID. You don't really know what's going to happen, so you sort of need every single position to be covered, which is why I've been hurt a bit by choosing players, sort of my sub players, bench players who don't actually start. So now I'm going to have to bring out the big minus and take a sledgehammer to the team to kind of fix that. But yeah, I think Kilman definitely a very good option.
He's basically an enabler of that price as well, isn't he? And the fact that he starts
100% he's an enabler.
Got 3 clean sheets and an assist, so not bad at all. The only problem is with Wolves, their fixtures aren't great. But from 4.3, you want anything you can get with a 4.3, really, don't you?
You're literally choosing between Jamal Lewis and him, so whoever you prefer at that price. But yeah, I think we're going to round this up. Any kind of thing you would like to discuss to end it off?
No, I think we've covered quite a fair amount of stuff there, to be honest.
Covered everything. Been through United. Any last comments on Mo Salah? Give me a quick what Mo Salah replacement. We'll end on that.
Oh, if you're free hitting, probably Bruno. There we have it.
It's
the obvious one. I'm sure everyone's going to do it.
Yeah.
Trying to think of a sort of differential kind of option.
Sterling maybe.
Who's that?
Sterling, maybe.
Yeah. Or
Which is
you
Ollie.
downgrade Salah to a cheap midfielder and upgrade one of your forwards. So maybe
Yeah.
get Kane in, maybe get Jesus in. Bruyne, obviously.
Yeah,
I think there's a few options if you're free
a
hitting.
final comment in from Dante Drummond to end the stream off
Ollie out.
with Ole out. Opinions on Ole out,
Yeah.
out as a Man United fan.
I'm Ollie on the bench at the moment.
Ole on the bench.
He's neither out, but he's also not in the first team.
Neither in or out at the minute.
We'll see how he does these next few fixtures, and go from there.
Yeah, perfect. So,
yeah.
thanks people
Been a good stream.
for joining us. We'll probably do something next week at some point. But yeah, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.